The economy doesn't care about your budget. Inflation, rising interest rates, these forces can absolutely flip your money game upside down if you're not paying attention. But here's the thing. If you don't know how to move, you can't stay ahead of the curve and stop the system from eating you alive. What's up, millionaires in the making? I'm your host, Ty Aarons, and welcome to Financial Empowerment 101. Today, we're talking about how to survive and thrive in a system that's designed to keep you broke. This is the conversation that they never taught you in school, and this is one we need to have right now. Here's what's happening in plain sight, even if most people don't notice it. Groceries cost more and more. Gas prices are up and skyrocketing. Rent feels like a mortgage that doesn't have any asset at the end of it. There is no end. In fact, between 2020 and 2024, food and housing prices jumped about 23% on average. And transportation, like gas, shot up over 34%. But your paycheck is probably staying the exact same. That is inflation for you. A high rate of inflation means the cost of goods and services are rising much faster than wages. This is a silent thief, choking your purchasing power. It's like running on a treadmill that keeps speeding up, and you don't even realize you're slipping backwards. Every dollar in your pocket today buys a little less than it did yesterday. If you don't adjust, your budget will suffocate. Most people, they won't notice until they're gasping for financial air. Here are some pro tips to beat inflation. Audit your subscriptions. Cancel the dead weight. Drop the gym memberships you're not using, the app subscription you forgot about, and the streaming services that you barely watch, get rid of them. For many people, pressing pause on non-essentials like dining out, extra subscriptions, or unused memberships, this frees up cash for necessities. Don't let these small monthly leaks drain your wallet. Shop like your granny. Be relentless about getting the best price possible. Price match, stack coupons, or promo codes, and buy in bulk the items that you always use. In other words, shop smart. Take advantage of price matching policies. It's a smart way to save, and that can score you big in the long run. Discounts or refunds. If something you bought goes on sale, you can go back and get the better price, right? Especially if you're shopping at places like Costco. Very easy to do that. When it comes to your income, negotiating a raise is crucial. Your cost of living is rising, so why stay silent? If you're adding value at work, don't wait for inflation to swallow you whole. Ask for a raise. Like closed mouth don't get fed. You got to ask if you want it. Ask for the raise you've earned because you need to keep up with inflation. Chances are your boss isn't rushing to adjust your salary for inflation. You have to be your own advocate. The worst they can say is no. And the best is you get the bump that helps offset those higher grocery and gas bills. You got to start playing offense with your money. Plan for prices to stay high so you're not caught off guard. Adjust your spending, hunt for deals, and make every dollar work harder than you do. Now, let's talk about interest raises. These can be your friends or your foe. It really depends, depending on how you play the game. When rates rise, debt gets more expensive. For example, credit cards bite harder. The average credit card APR nearly doubled from 13% in 2013 to about 23% in 2023. This is a record high. This means that carrying a balance on this plastic is financial quicksand. Lines of credit start to drain you faster and faster as their interest adds up. And variable mortgages, they can wreck your budget overnight. This year was actually a really big year here in Canada because a lot of mortgages were up for renewal and people saw their mortgage skyrocket as the interest rates changed. So we've seen it happen. Mortgage rates that were 2.6 a couple years ago spiked to almost 7.8. This happened in 2023, adding hundreds, even thousands to monthly payments. Imagine suddenly paying $1,200 more each month just because of rate hikes. That's the reality of many who didn't see it coming. Now, here's the flip side. Rising interest rates aren't all bad. Savers actually win for once because banks will start to pay you more interest on your savings, on your cash in the bank. Finally, it's earning something. a little bit more than that 0.001%. You're confused why you have a penny once every year in your account. Now, a few years ago, savings accounts paid practically nothing. Now, some high yield accounts are offering 5% APY. Now, that's not a typo. It's about 13x the typical bank savings rate. In other words, when rates go up, the system rewards those who save even as it punishes those who borrow. Now, here's a pro tip for rising rates and managing them. Kill high debt interest first. Pay off any high interest that's like your hair's on fire, okay? Credit cards are charging 20% or more are toxic to your finances. The longer you carry the balance, the more money you pour into a black hole of interest. So focus on knocking that out. Knock that credit out fast, quick. Consider this. Carrying a $5,300 balance at today's rates could cost you $250 extra per year just in interest. That buys you nothing. You don't get anything back from that. So free yourself from that quicksand as soon as possible. Another thing you can do is lock in your mortgage. If you got a variable rate mortgage, talk to your lender now about locking in a fixed rate before it spikes further. Don't gamble with your home. We've watched rates leap over 5% from 2.65% to 7.79 in less than 3 years. Now, experts often suggest refinancing variable loans into fixed ones to hedge against sudden jumps. The peace of mind of a steady payment is worth it. Now, if you don't want a surprise letter saying your mortgage payment is doubling, you're going to want to do this. The third tip is to let the bank pay you. Make rising rates work for you. Park your emergency fund in a high interest savings account or a guaranteed investment certificate, a GIC. Banks are finally willing to pay decent interest. The best high yield accounts today are around 5% APY. Some of them, you may be able to find some a little bit higher. This means your savings can actually grow a little on their own. And if you're worried rates might drop later on, you can lock in a portion of your savings in a GIC for a fixed return. Your money will be unavailable for a set amount of time, as short as, I think some of them are as short as 30 days, 90 days. And as long as, I think, 5+ years, you decide how long you want to lock it up. But it will earn a guaranteed rate that won't vanish if the bank decides to cut interest next month. So for once, you can make the system work for you and get paid for holding on to cash. Now, inflation rates and rising rates aren't random. They're like warning sirens for your finances. They're blaring out a message. Tighten up your budget. Get intentional. Stop leaking money. Are you listening to them? These economic shifts are telling you to pay attention now, not later. Adjust your plan now so you're not scrambling later. Don't wait until you're drowning to learn how to swim. Audit your spending, trim the fat, and prioritize your essentials while building a solid cushion. If you stay ready, you won't have to scramble in a crisis to get ready. That might mean keeping your resume sharp and your skills up so you can command a higher pay, maintaining a side hustle or backup income, and having a plan to quickly cut costs if things get tight. Preparation is the best defense. Now, the system is rigged to keep you broke, stressed, and trapped in survival mode. High inflation, high interest, low financial education. It's not a bug, it's a feature of the game that's stacked against you. The question is, are you going to sit back and let it happen? Or are you going to take control and rewrite your money story? Every time you budget wisely, pay off debt, or invest in yourself, you're fighting back. You're refusing to be a victim. You have the power to change the narrative, so use it. Now you've got the knowledge. It's time to put it in action. Your challenge this week, do a 7-day money leak audit. For the next week, write down every single purchase you make, every coffee, every impulse buy, every impulse Amazon buy that you thought you're going to put on Klarna, every $2 app. And after 7 days, review your list. Circle the ones that you didn't need. Okay, those are your money leaks. This will wake you up to where your cash is actually going. And you'll find at least a few. Often I'm able to help my clients save a couple $100s from doing this exercise. You'll start thinking to yourself, why did I buy that? When you see that expense, eliminate it. Second thing, make one adjustment for inflation. Choose one expense that has been creeping up on you and slash it or negotiate it down. It could be canceling or downgrading that subscription that went up in price. Many streaming services hike their rates, so calling your phone internet provider to haggle a better deal. I like to do this probably once a year. When I was younger, I did it once every 6 months, but now I do it once a year. You can often get a couple $100 knocked off, or whatever you get knocked off, great. Haggle for a better deal or find a cheaper rate. Maybe it's insurance. Like every year that my insurance is up for renewal, I make the insurance companies fight with each other to give me the best rate when it comes to my car. If you can cut one cash drainer, it forces it to cost you less. Now, every dollar you free up is a dollar that inflation doesn't get to steal from you, and it's a dollar that you can invest. Now, number 3 is to take action for rising rates. Do something today that future you will thank you in the era of high interest. For example, make an extra payment to one of your debts. Even $50 extra towards your credit card or student loans helps. Or move a chunk of your savings into that high interest account that we talked about before. Even opening up a new savings account with a better rate or lock in a short-term GIC could help get you ahead. The goal is either to reduce the interest you pay or increase the interest you earn. This week, make it happen. Just one action, and then you can build on that momentum and keep things going. Now drop a comment. What's one move you're making to fight back against inflation or high interest? Declare it. When you speak it, you start to own it. Plus, you might inspire someone else reading the comments to take action too. We're building a community of fighters here. Remember, small changes now equal big protection later. Each step you take is like adding an extra layer of armor to your financial life. You won't feel bulletproof overnight, but you'll get stronger and more secure with every smart decision. That's how we build wealth on offense, not on defense. Inflation is real. Interest rates are real, but so is your ability to adapt. You don't have to be a victim of the system. You can study the game, learn the rules, and then flip the script. Build a strategy, make the system work for you, and step into your financial power. Smash that like button if you're fired up and ready to take control of your money game. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next step on your journey to financial freedom. We're in this together, and I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Share this video with someone who needs to hear the truth about how the system really works. Whether it's a friend, a cousin, a coworker, someone that's struggling with this, help them wake up too. Stay tuned for the next video where we'll keep building your financial savvy and fight back one step at a time. Until then, take those actions, protect your money, keep hustling smart, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.